All right, recording is in progress.
But you don't want to mess up your card on your phone if you have a because it might be a lot of memory.
It's not no anything.
There we go. All right, love. I love you.
Okay, anyway, June 23rd, starts at 7:06 p.m. Nominating committee. Okay, we have myself as the chair, Denise Bond, Theodore, Marlene Brown, and Sydney Blake. Those are the 5 members of the 2001 nominating committee. Okay, so I'm not sure if everybody knows right now, our election is going to have to be moved until October 2021. That's where we're at right now, due to the voting on we had to vote for the nominating committee and everything that kind of pushed everything back. So we will not be voting this Thursday at our final board meeting before the summer. We will not be voting this Thursday. So in September, everybody can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
In September, we're going to take nominations from the floor. In September, when we have our September meeting, our first meeting back after the summer. This Thursday, what I understand, we're going to have to take make a motion to send the current executive committee until October. We're gonna have to extend the current executive committee until October. Now, does everybody know the candidates? Let me go to the slate of candidates that we have this year. I just want to tell everyone everything. Okay, so the slate of candidates that we have this year, or the persons that are running for the executive committee this year, for the position of chair, we have Dr. Michael Burke, and who's the incumbent, and Ivan Boris running for the position of chair. First vice chair, the incumbent is Jerry Bennett and Ivan Boris for that's first vice chair. Second vice chair, the incumbent Don Isaac and Ivan Boris, second vice chair. Corresponding secretary, and I hope I got this right, but I think I did. Corresponding secretary, we're gonna have 2 secretary positions now. Well, probably have to work that out too with the new bylaws. But right now, we're going with 2 secretary positions. Corresponding secretary, the incumbent is Judith Benitez. She's running again. And recording secretary, Carla Bossati. The recording secretary is a new position that we have to finalize with our new bylaws prior to the election. The board member running for treasurer is Tolene Dickinson, who's also the incumbent. So, and she's running unopposed. So, for the recording secretary position, Carla Bossati is running unopposed as well. Can you reach your Mr. Hall? Can you mute your phone? Mute your computer, Mr. Hall. Can you mute yourself, please? Thank you.
All right. Sorry.
All right. Yes. So did everyone hear all of the candidates? I'll go over it again. Chair, Mike Burke, and I. First vice chair, and Ivan Boris. Second vice chair, John Isaac, and corresponding secretary is unopposed. Says recording secretary unopposed, Carla Bossati. Treasurer unopposed, Tolene Dickerson. So that is our candidates as of right now. Because as I said, September we will be taking nominations from the floor. Is everyone clear on that? Yes, sir.
Clinton, how you doing? This is Mike Burke. Can I ask you a question?
Sure you can.
So I know that the bylaws committee is going to be meeting next week. No, let's see. Yeah, next week, Monday. My question is, why can't we take nominations from the floor again this month and then vote in September?
Okay, gotta go.
Because the bylaws committee is going to, I think in September, what we're going to do is ratify their changes. And then we can, in my opinion, this is, I mean, it's up to you, but I think we can ratify their changes earlier in the meeting and then hold the elections because we'll be back in person by then anyway.
Excuse me, we can't do it because we did not put it on the agenda.
What do you mean? Okay.
It's
What do you
not
mean
on
we
the
didn't put it on the
agenda. We
agenda?
can't do it. It has to be on the agenda.
Hang on, Ursula. What did we not put on the agenda?
Nominations.
I thought that was under nominating committee rules and regulations. I thought that's what it was. I mean, the agenda could always be amended at the meeting.
Oh, all right. I'm going to check with Tom, but I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, I think.
I'll
Well,
text
yeah,
Tom right now.
Yeah, just double check Ursula, but I think you could always amend the agenda at the meeting. I mean, if not, then it doesn't really matter. But you know, it's kind of so I think everybody wants this done with. You know, the fact that this had to be pushed back is I think some people are upset anyway. But that's another topic for another day. You know. But I just wanted to ask that. So if Ursula, if you could find out, I would that'll help us out for tomorrow.
I'm working on it right now.
Okay, you got it. And I see Sydney has her hand up, so I'm gonna shut up.
Hey, Sydney, you have a question? Comment?
Yeah, hi everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is, I'm not sure if I understand correctly, so somebody should correct me if I'm wrong, but if let's say, I'm assuming we're getting new board members in the fall as well. Will they be able to run for office? And if so, is that why we're holding the election in October?
The reason why we're holding an election in October, well, one reason is because of time. We didn't, we had to nominate, or we had to elect a nominating committee. We had to elect a nominating committee. That was should have taken place prior to last week when it took place. It should have taken place prior to last week. It probably should have taken place, let's say, this is June, April. The nominating committee should have been elected in April. The nominating committee was chosen and appointed in April, and according to the bylaws, that is not the way it is supposed to be done. So we had to elect the nominating committee, and when that was brought up, it was already after our May board meeting. Therefore, we had to elect a nominating committee last week, and it's not giving us enough time to conduct an election for an executive committee because the nominating committee was elected last week, and the first meeting of the nominating committee is today, a day before our board meeting, which is tomorrow. Does that clear up anything for you?
Yeah, that clears it up. With regard to my second question, are new board members in the fall going to be able to run for office?
According to the bylaw, as far as I know, they won't be able to run for office as new board members if they're appointed and coming on the board in the fall. To my knowledge, Ursula, maybe Ursula clear that up, or someone else.
I can help you on that, Clinton. Yeah, so they cannot run for office. You have to at least be on the board at a bare minimum of a year before you could even run for office. So new board members will be able to vote like you were you know, Sydney, they will be able to vote, presuming that they'll be appointed by then. So they will be able to vote. And again, you know, I'm sure that either myself or Mr. Mike will give them the same instructions that you guys were given, you know, for voting. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. And they, with regard to the people running for office, will they be writing statements as they did last year?
I didn't. That's one of my items to discuss this evening.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem. You're on the committee. Okay, so we discussed the candidates seeking election. Discussed the election being moved to October. We discussed nominations being taken from the floor in September, and motion that is going to have to be made tomorrow to extend the current executive committee. So the only thing left that I have, someone else may have something. The only thing left that I have are the statements by the candidates that were requested, I believe, in May, and I have not received all of them. So I believe Ursula has sent out an email saying that we needed bios from all the candidates that were running. I received a few. I know George received one or two, but we haven't received all of them. So if you are on this call and you are running, you need to have a bio to Ursula or George fairly soon. Really soon, so we can compile it and put them all together and have them and send it out to all. Okay.
So, Clinton,
Yes.
yeah, with respect to the candidates who are running for multiple positions, I believe we discussed this in our last meeting, but I just want to be clear. If that candidates win more than one position, how are we going to settle that?
The conversation about this.
Yeah, I believe it came up in our last meeting.
It was something said. I don't want to quote it off the top of my head. I have it somewhere. I had taken notes somewhere. So I'm not gonna have to get back to you on that. Unless, like I said, someone else is on the call that may know for sure.
Mr. Mike, maybe I can add to that. I believe that it was Mr. Lanzano. Excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong.
Yeah.
And it was his suggestion that what should happen is that since you have one person running for multiple seats, that if they win the seat with the least authority, that election should take place first, and then after that they would not be able to run for anything else. But that's not in the bylaws, so that's why I think there was some confusion about that. And then he said it, but it was never like clarified after that. He just said it, and then that was it. That's what I recall, at least.
I believe it should be the reverse.
So that's something that we have to discuss then.
Yeah.
It has to be discussed more.
Right. It has to be a broader conversation.
Okay.
So because I mean it would follow if you're running. I mean, let's use real names because we have the names. Ivan is running for chair and vice chair. It would mean then the chair position would have to take place first. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, just the opposite. That no, he's actually running for 3 positions. So
okay, so the third position is second vice president.
Right. So that.
So if he wins that, let's just play devil advocates. If he wins that position, is he eliminated from the other 2?
That's the thing.
Because I think he would rather make sure that he has a chance at the one with the most authority, which would be the chair.
Right. And I think that was to Mr. Lanzano's point that started in the opposite order with the least. That's what he was saying. But I don't know if that's possible.
But I mean, I could understand the reasoning behind that. And then the onus is now on the candidate whether they really want to run for
Correct.
all three.
Correct.
Or if I really want to be the chair, then let me just stick with the chair.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense.
I'm gonna try to have some more information about that tomorrow. I
Yeah,
don't know
we definitely need some clarity on that, some agreement.
if that's a bylaw. I have to find out.
I think our bylaws is actually even silent on multiple positions. Being able to run for multiple positions.
So I'll try to have some more about that tomorrow during our board meeting. Hey, Ursula. So,
Yep. Yeah.
okay, thank you. Other than
So
that,
wait, let me just say, Tom did not get back to me yet. I left him a message, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, Ursula, I'll probably be in the office tomorrow anyway. As
I'll
I
be in the
said,
office too.
yeah. So I mean, because we've got the borough board meeting tomorrow, so I'm debating whether or not I want to do that from here or there. But either way, we'll be chatting in the morning. Let me ask this question of the nominating committee. For all indications are that we're going to be back in person in September. So I guess the question is, if that is the case, then well, we're going to be doing a paper ballot that we could, submit instead of, how we did the last one, which was virtually, right? The question is, I know Mr. James or Ted asked a question about, the person running for all three. I guess, would that matter if we're in person?
we all may not be in person though. About that.
Well, that's right. Yes, we are going. I need to mention that. So we are going to a hybrid model. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That has to be something that needs to be discussed too. The hybrid for September.
Well, I can tell you right now that, I know George and I started initial discussions on that, as well as I'm sure we're probably going to get some direction tomorrow from the BP's office. But, in fact, I've been talking with the BP's office in regards to that. And so I think we're trying to figure out what that is. And based on my conversations with the BP's office, I know that, the governor may or may not tweak his executive order. So I think it's not that we're in a state of limbo. I think what I know is that we are going to go to some sort of hybrid where we're going to be in person or virtual. The question then becomes, I think the sticking point is, at the moment, are all board members are going to be required to be in person? And I think that's what, the discussion is, not only between George and myself, but with the borough president and with the governor as well. So I think that's the information that I have at the moment.
Right. Okay. Well, that's definitely another discussion that have to be had, because I'm sure some people are not going to want to attend. Some may not want that. They may not feel comfortable attending.
Agreed.
I mean, if we have to do a hybrid model of voting, it may take a little longer, but I mean, it's just something that we have to do.
Okay.
It may take a couple of hours longer than just do it via we've been Google form. But I'll have both ready, both versions ready whenever we get to that point. But Any other questions anyone has?
Yeah, I have a question. It's Sydney again.
Okay, Sydney.
Um, in terms of voting, I just heard Dr. Burke saying, when it was in person, it was a paper ballot. Due to COVID-19, last year we did a virtual ballot via Google Forms. So, and now that it looks like we're going into a hybrid model per se, I think I just heard you mention a hybrid model of voting. I was gonna ask if, like, maybe, I don't know who could advise on this, but see what would be more feasible instead of doing, like, if we have to, I guess we can resort to a hybrid model of voting where you can, I guess, submit a paper ballot and or an electronic vote. But wouldn't it be a little more feasible if we chose one or the other? And with the day and age, maybe the electronic vote.
Well, I'm only saying the hybrid model because, like I said, some people may not want to attend virtual board meeting, may not want to attend in-person board meeting. So if they don't want to, attend, and we're doing a paper ballot at the in-person board meeting, how do they vote?
Right. Thing is, if we're not going to do the in-person, if we're doing a hybrid board meeting, I think that it would be better if we just, regardless of whether or not you're in person or virtual, I think that it would be better to count the votes via Google form. Granted that it'll spread the data the way it did when we were elected for the nominating committee.
I
But
mean,
I also think that some people may not want to do an electronic form due to technological issues or difficulties. Granted that even for the nominating committee, someone had mentioned that they believe that they submitted a form, but their vote wasn't counted.
right. Well,
Sorry.
when we did our previous executive committee election, we did use, there were, I want to say, offhand, three persons would use ballots. So we did a hybrid, and I was able to include them in the spreadsheet and everything. But I mean, we'll have to look into. The way I see it is, we'll probably have to use a hybrid model, because even those that use the Google form really didn't want to. They did it reluctantly. So, and they'll probably want paper ballot if we go back in person. But I mean, that's something, again, that'll have to be looked into.
Right. Can I just add to what Sydney said? I think that if we do a Google form for even those people who are in person, because if they're having issues with the technology, then someone could be there to assist them, because we'll be able to use one of the computers in the community board building for the voting. So maybe that would be a way to get around the issues that someone might have with the technology, because then you would just have it set up for them to go and place their vote, and then the next person go, so they would have, some privacy. But this way you could eliminate that. And then the other thing with the pieces of paper, due to COVID and everything else, handling the paper is not necessarily ideal.
Right. Right. Well, we'll have to take the temperature of the board to see which way we'll lean. Actually, some of those that put on the paper ballots, they came and brought them into the office when you're saying that we can use the board's computers, but they still brought their paper ballot into the board's office. When they could have.
I think another way that this could really be handled is, as you were saying just now, Clinton, with the spreadsheet, if they submit their vote via paper, we could just input it onto the Google form and it still counts as their vote. It would just be they submitted it to us in paper.
I see what you're saying. I understand. I mean, my preference, but that's just me, is to continue with the Google form. That's my preference. But I just know that are going to be some that are probably going to do. But like I said, with temperature from the board to see which we should proceed. Agree?
Agreed.
Also, another thing, based on the election for the nominating committee, it seemed as if people were upset because there was a cutoff time. I think Ursula had made it so that like you couldn't vote any later than 5 o'clock that day, and the meeting was at 7 p.m. How do we plan to address something like that for the overall, for this executive office election? Because I feel like that's going to become an issue again if we
Well, it really shouldn't have.
choose to cut it off. It shouldn't have been an issue. I agree, but if
They have
we
one whole
choose to
week.
cut it off and not tell them, it may be an issue.
They were told in one of the emails, and they have a full week to do it. And they have during that week, the email vote was sent out no less than 3 times. No less than 3 times. When you vote in New York City election yesterday, cutoff time was 9 p.m. Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Now, if there are rules, we just have to follow the rules.
that's all. And they had a full week with 3 different reminders during that 1 week. So I mean, how much do we have to baby people? We have to just go from their home and take them and sit them in front of a computer and make them vote. I mean, before the meeting, we need to have, the Google form will tabulate for you, but you just want to have all your information lined up before you actually get to the meeting. So if we stop, but that's because the meeting's at 7. I mean, I don't think that's a problem if you have 1 whole week. Just me. Maybe I'm wrong.
You are correct, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you.
I agree. So another follow-up question to that. How long are they going to have to vote? Are we going to announce all the nominees in September and then give them until the October meeting to vote?
Absolutely. And they still won't on time. You'll see.
I'm actually quite certain that will be the case.
We'll be. But yeah, that's it. I mean, you got to follow the rules. I'm sorry. You had a week. You had 3 reminders during that week. You got a reminder that it's cutting off at 5 p.m. They don't let you in New York polling place after 9 p.m. I know that. So, anyway, anybody have anything else?
Queen,
Hi, Marlene.
I wanted to say that the link, the Google form link can also be text to individuals and they can complete it on their phones. So it doesn't have to be complicated, really.
There's just a certain few that like to make it complicated. We understand. We understand. Even with the community survey, Beatrice QR code. So we can use QR code, text message, email, and people still won't vote by 5 p.m. on that. I'm just saying that's all. That's what it is. But everybody, I have no more to say about that. Finished. Finished. Does anybody else have anything? More questions, comments? I've got to get back. I mean, you guys can continue the meeting. I'll make somebody else somebody else can run the meeting. I have to go back to a funeral. Yeah. That's all I had to say.
Well, Clinton, please pass on my condolences. You and Maisha pass on my condolences to whoever it was that passed away, from my personal as well as on behalf of the community board. If you could do that. Also, I just wanted to say to Mr. Hall, I love that color scheme, that purple and gold. That's an awesome color scheme. I just want you to know that. That is an awesome color scheme. And other than that, I'm out.
Can I get
Hi, does anyone know if the carriage houses are being used for testing?
I believe they're still using the carriage house for testing, right? Mike.
Yes, they are until August.
August. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second, Denise. Okay, my nominating committee, I'll be talking to you guys soon.
All right.
No problem.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Clinton. Go Hawks.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Good night.
Clinton.
Thank you. Everybody
My
have-
condolences.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, hi, gorgeous.
Bye. Great job.
Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Much love.
You too.
You know, I'm on that sleeping thing. I was trying to wake up.
Oh, you was what I tell you?
I don't blame you.
I'm gonna come over there.
John Ford died.
Oh yeah.
No, let me tell you what it is. What they're finding out. It's the reaction that I'm having to the shingles vaccine.
Oh. Okay.
I had to take that shingles vaccine.
You're doing too much.
Yeah, she had to take it though. Listen, John.
No, what can I tell you? That's what they're doing to me.
John Ford away.
Deacon John Ford. You know who that is, Tony?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Remember the name?
John Ford's working in the bookstore. Tall, light-skinned man with a bald head. He's a
Okay.
PD detective.
Retired. 4 years old.
84. You know him. I'll show you a picture.
Okay. Wow.
Send you a picture.
You look so handsome.
Thank you. My wife dressed me.
No, I didn't.
I know she did.
I'm lying.
No, she did. I know she did.
She didn't. No, she
He's
did
in his
not.
deacon outfit.
No, this is my DIT outfit. I'm doing deacon work today.
I'm hungry. It's time for you to go.
You doing your general work today. You would have did that regardless.
Okay. I'm doing my work. The people tell me, I gotta do what I gotta do, so I do it. I'm sending you this man's
But
picture.
real quick, did I miss too much in the beginning?
You ain't missed nothing.
Was I like the only nominated person?
On the meeting? On the meeting?
Yeah.
No, you and Dr. Burke, and
Okay.
Nigeria.
Oh, right. Okay.
And John.
Okay, I didn't see John.
I didn't see Carla. Maybe she's still not feeling well. And I didn't see Judith.
Who is SBH?
That's Mrs. Joan Claude.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see Judith Benitez either.
Okay. And the first chair, vice chair, and chair.
The incumbents were there, yes.
Oh, I didn't see them. I was looking for their names.
The incumbents were there. Michael, Egeria, and
No. Yeah. No, I'm talking about.
Oh, the one that's running?
Yeah, for all three positions.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I didn't see him because I'm on my phone, so maybe I might have missed him, but I didn't.
That's the first thing I do is write down the participants.
Okay, go girl. You doing the minutes for my meeting?
All the time, all the time. I'm old, I gotta remember stuff.
That's jump part. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, what that stand for?
That's good. She ain't here. Miss Clyde,
So-
you did.
Miss Claude,
Miss Clyde.
Maybe she logged in somebody else's WebEx.
yeah.
Okay. All right, darling. I sent you John Ford's picture.
Okay.
I just texted to
You texted. Okay, my phone is charging.
you.
All right. Well, I love you.
Love you
Love
too.
you.
Kiss my boys for me.
Yeah.
Take care of you. Get that rest. Get your rest.
Yeah.
You gonna start setting your damn alarm clock.
You ain't missed
when you
nothing.
got
No,
board meeting.
I'm going to the doctor in the morning so they can try to figure it out because it's too much. I woke up today at 1:45. I didn't from the morning. I didn't even.
That's like some good sleep.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I woke up at 5 o'clock and then woke back up the next time at 1:45. Not good.
Your body really is reacting. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Take it easy.
All right, boo.
We'll talk soon. Love you.
Let's love you.
Bye, Miss Joan.